What up, what up, what up, what up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes. Happy Monday to you people. Happy Monday, beautiful world, beautiful people. I hope everyone just really enjoyed their Easter. They enjoyed everything. Over the last few days, there's so much that's been happening. So I just really hope that you spend some quality time with your family. Now, boy, oh boy, do I have a topic for you. I say this all the time, and I say it on purpose because every topic to me is just as important. What I want to talk to you today is how I let go of codependency. Man, let me tell you, codependency ran my life for such a long time. I was a person who never liked to be alone. I didn't like my own company. I felt that I had to be in a relationship in order to feel complete. Man, was I so wrong. How I came to terms, how I learned is, I would run to a relationship and I'd start working on myself. And then all of a sudden, you know what? I'm back in a relationship and I stop. Share a story about you. So, when I first moved to California, and when I first moved here, I was still struggling a little bit on drugs. And I remember that day I said, I want to stop because I want a boyfriend. I want to be with someone again. Because when I'm in my addiction, I tend not to have a boyfriend. Part of codependency. Transfer it. And so I literally stopped like that. And within a few days, I kid you not, I met my boyfriend. And I was deeply in love with this guy. So I made everything about him. I was actually going to school. I was living in my apartment, and I remember at one point he couldn't afford as much as the rent as what we were expecting. And that never bothers me. And I'll tell you now, I'm not a person that cares about how much money a person makes. It's about your heart. Always about your heart. But what I did when I found that out, because I had left the corporate world, I was like, okay, I'll go back to work. I'll go back to the corporate world. And I did. And I went back to the corporate world and I started, making sure I stepped up and provided for us. And, we lived in a nice place and he worked as well. We also helped out his family, but it made me feel happy. It made me feel like I had a purpose. And I focused all my energy on him. And then I left everything that I needed to work on myself by the wayside. Because to me, my partner was my everything. Fast forward 4 years later, when we broke up, and it started to deteriorate after about 2.5 years. Ran into some problems, but after year 4, when we broke up, do you know as soon as he walked out that door, I picked the phone up and I called a dealer. And I went straight back into that drug life. So I took the codependency that was focused on him, and then I turned that codependency to the drugs. Now, when we talk about codependency, we think codependency is a person or is drugs. No. Codependency is anything that we use as a crutch instead of us looking at ourselves. It could be the gym. It could be food. It could be family. One of the reasons why I chose not to stick so much with AA is because I felt AA wanted me to become dependent on them. And the biggest thing for me is being dependent on myself and God. Now, this doesn't mean that we don't need each other. We do. But what we don't need is to depend our happiness, depend our fulfillment on others or things. Codependency can be shopping. Codependency can also be sex. We have to learn how to live with ourselves and be happy from inside, an internal joy. And man, when I found out how to let go of codependency, and let's understand, it's not something that happens overnight. It's an ongoing process that you lead to. Change is not something that happens instantaneously. Change is something that once your mind understands that that's what you actually need to work on, then that's when you start putting the work in, and that's when you slowly start seeing the results. Where I am now. Do I want a relationship? Yeah, I would love to have a relationship. Do I need a relationship? No. I don't need the drama. I don't need the having to ask someone if that's okay. What I want is someone that is in a place of who they know who they are, and I know who I am, and that we can grow our lives together, but still have our independence. Making sure that God's at the center of a relationship. But now, when I wake up, I don't wake up thinking, oh, I don't have someone by my side. I wake up with a smile on my face. My routine when I wake up in the morning is I wake up and I sit up in my bed and I meditate for about 30 minutes, give or take. Say my prayers, I unload my heart, talk to God. And I'm still reading the Bible, going through, trying to read all of the entire Bible. And then I'm going to move on to like the Quran and to the Torah. But that is my morning routine. And then afterwards, I actually have a group of people, including my family members, who I send out a morning text, good morning text, with some type of inspirational message, and it's something that comes from my heart, that I base off individuals that I learn from within this group, sometimes within the world. True story about why I chose this topic today. This week, I actually had a conversation I wrote down. I have a list of topics I want to talk about. And I wrote down letting go of codependency. And I was on the phone talking to unemployment about some things. I had to get straight with them. And the woman and I actually had such a deep conversation. And the conversation, and I didn't raise this, she started it, was on codependency. And how so many people are codependent, how she was codependent before. And I expressed to her that, man, this is again one of my God moments. Because do you know, I kid you not, just earlier this morning, I wrote down letting go of codependency. And you have just confirmed I need to talk about this topic. And that's God talking to me. So guess what? My dependency is on Him. And I got my message from Him. But it comes through us. So, I live my life now being happy, put everything to honor God. But I love humanity. I love people. And I just want us to just all, come together and see how we can make this world a better place. And that's why I share these messages. So, hope you learned something from that. I want to thank you all for listening to our messages. Any topic that you feel that you want to see if I've overcome, or even if I'm struggling with it, put it in the comments. But thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening. And as I'm sharing my stories with you, I am inching closer to my glad life. Thanks for watching. God bless.